tonight at 5. Georgia police agencies, they are in a fierce fight over a shrinking pool of officers.
Now, state lawmakers are debating new raises and investments that could make the job a little more appealing. Atlanta News First reporter Abby Casouras explains what this means for your safety.
The governor's proposed budget includes billions of dollars for public safety. Members of the House and Senate Appropriations Committee say that getting and retaining officers is top of mind.
Well, people are concerned about crime and they want something done about it.
Senator Ed Harbinson represents Columbus, where GBI Director Chris Hosey wants to put a new gang task force hub, identifying gang members and gang activity. There are 2 already, one here in Metro Atlanta, another in Macon.
We've got to identify what's going on. Is there a criminal violation? Who's responsible for it? And then the resources that we need to pursue that and bring them to justice.
GBI reports gang activity is behind most of the violent crime in our state. According to the Georgia Gang Investigators Association, there are more than 1,500 gang networks with more than 71,000 members. And it's not just the GBI that would get a pay hike. The governor's proposal includes raises for all law enforcement, including troopers with the Department of Public Safety. Newly appointed Colonel Bill Hitchens says 80% of their dispatchers and more than 60% of their troopers have less than 9 years of experience. Competition for new hires is fierce.
In terms of recruiting, it is important to point out that the Department of Public Safety is recruiting out of the same shrinking pool as our local and federal partners.
Raises would bump starting pay to just over $63,000 for troopers, dispatchers to $37,000. The Appropriations Committee is working off of the governor's proposed budget, but with more than $11 billion in surplus, there's more money for those agencies to vie for. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Casouras.